Eskom's top brass and Public Enterprises Minister Pravin are expected to give an update on the country's precarious power supply this afternoon. The country has been in the clear with no power cuts for over a week now after a stretch of stage 4 load shedding last month. Accompanied by Eskom board chairperson Jabu Mabuza, Gordhan will brief the media at one of the utilities power stations just outside of Johannesburg. The pair is expected to give details on the vulnerability of the system and the prospects of more load shedding. On yesterday, ratings agency Moody's Investor Services warned that government's financial support for Eskom and the announcement of recent electricity tariff hikes may not be enough to address the company's long-standing financial troubles. Moody's has also warned in the past that the current state of the country's parastatals needs to be addressed, something that the government has assured the ratings agencies is receiving top priority. Well, for more on this story, we cross to our reporter, Mahlako Komane, who's standing by for us at the power station where the briefing is set to be held. Mahlako, what can we expect a little bit later?
Yes, good afternoon indeed, Nomp. We are here at Letabo Power Station just outside of Johannesburg, and we are expecting to hear from Eskom what are their plans in terms of, we know that winter is obviously coming. The system will definitely be under pressure with a lot of people trying to keep warm. So we are expecting the Minister Gordhan and the top brass of Eskom to then brief us what are their plans. We know that there was an earlier briefing where they spoke about maintenance issues, but not only that, you know, the cyclone in Mozambique also having affected the power supply in South Africa. We also will then find out has that been fully restored, and also to just find out, you know, going forward with winter approaching, what is it that South Africans can expect? Will we be sitting in the dark with stage 4 load shedding, or are there plans in place to ensure that Eskom is able to keep the lights on?
Well, Mahlako, you know, some people have been joking, saying that perhaps we're going to go back to stage 4 load shedding now that Moody's, you know, has decided to keep our ratings unchanged. But obviously, we are supposed to be getting this briefing right now at about 2 p.m. Is there any movement? Are we seeing signs of the minister and the Eskom top brass yet?
Yes, the minister and, you know, the management of Eskom they are already here. I know that they had just gone into the power plant to just get a tour of that, and hopefully from that they then will be able to tell us what is it that is going on. Will South Africans be in the dark this winter, or will we be going into stage 4 load shedding again, or will it be a better story to tell? Will they have a better story to tell to South Africans? So definitely we will be here giving the briefing live so that we can know going forward. For businesses, we know how load shedding does affect your businesses. What can we expect? You know, the joke of whether we will then now go to stage 4 load shedding remains to be seen. It is in a few minutes we will find out what is it that is going to happen to the country's power supply.
Last thing, Mahlako, you know, I wouldn't want to put too much pressure on you. We're waiting for the information, obviously, from the people who have it at hand. But you are at a power station. There was a lot of hoo-ha and hush-hush around the actual place where you went for security reasons. Have you had a briefing at the power station? Is it high security? What's it like to be at the power station?
Well, it definitely is high security. A few journalists were kept back, being told that they were not vetted in time. People will not be allowed onto the power station because of those necessary security points, calling this a national key point. Not everybody has the type of free movement that you would normally have in any other place in the country. But we are waiting for the briefing. We haven't had an exact briefing as to exactly what was the reason behind not being told exactly where it is that we were going. You are quite correct in saying there was a lot of hoo-ha, as we didn't know this morning when we left Johannesburg where exactly we are going. The reasons that they gave was that, you know, it's for security purposes. Exactly what those security purposes are, I myself cannot really say. We're hoping that we will be enlightened at the end of the day.
All right, Mahlako, we're going to leave it there and join you as soon as that briefing gets underway. That's my colleague, Mahlako Komane, giving us that report. She's at a power station, an Eskom power station, and where that briefing is going to be delivered by Minister Gordhan and Eskom.